right, everybody. Come out.
Me here.
Love that guy. I reiterate his sentiments that we are very grateful that you are all here.
Yeah, right back at you.
We were just talking about how almost none of you were at our actual wedding, and all the people who are close in our lives now are here. We good? You ready to rock and roll? Rock and roll. Yeah. I write because I am trying to become an instrument. I believe that something wants to write through me, that the same thing that drew me to create this poem drew you here to hear it. It is through this sacred exchange that we revive Source and draw near it enough to remember what we are. Do you remember what you are? How far our souls have traveled? How many bodies we have worn only to be torn from our skin when death comes knocking? How many times we've knocked our heads against the same truths only to cool the ache with falsehood? Sweet Spirit, do you remember the last time you died? How it felt when the bullet hit, as the cancer gnawed your organs, as the water filled your lungs. How that last exhale left you breathless, wishing that you could have told her you loved her, wishing you would have said, I'm sorry, wishing you would have said, thank you more.
Gonna be a revival tonight. Ooh, let there be a revival. Wanna see a revival tonight. Let there be a revival.
When your soul woke up on the shore of this life, with no recollection of the last, your eyes blinking a past away, newness flooding you with the light of a delivery room, your consciousness reset in the eternally open arms of the mother, who pulled you to her breast, thus fulfilling her promise to give you a body so that you could learn to die to it. Sweet Spirit, we have all come here to die. The taking on of forms is a pastime of the divine. It uses beauty and terror to express the depth of its nothingness. Do not get lost in this painting. Look down at your hands. There is a brush. It is you who moves the moods across the canvas. It is you who pulled the darkness into the void and chose to erupt into the multiplicity that now veils the one. Come home to yourself.
Why am I so blind, with my eyes wide open, trying to get my hands clean and dirty water? Gonna be a revival tonight. Oh, let there be a revival. Oh, wanna see a revival tonight. Oh.
good at that.
What did you say?
I said you're looking good at that.
What are we doing next? Oh, a story about how we met. Lots of you have heard this story before, but I felt it was appropriate in the evening's itinerary to talk about it. I'll try to make it quick so we're not here for, hours. I used to be a waitress at the Boff restaurant. Not my favorite job in the world. But I was waiting tables one morning and it was really slow and boring, and these two gentlemen come in and sit in my section, start ordering 99-cent Bloody Marys and being flirty because I was bored. And I'm naturally charming. I just started flirting with them as well. And at some point during the breakfast, one of them ordered an omelet, and I think the sides, I said, would you like wheat toast, sourdough toast, rye toast, English muffin, or a biscuit? Josh goes, ooh, I like the way you said biscuit. I want a biscuit. So they have their little breakfast, and they leave, and I go grab the receipt, and on the receipt there's like 6,000 lines of scribbles that were attempts at what I think he wanted to say, maybe. I learned later that Paul had suggested he settle on, I really like the way you said biscuit. So my receipt said I like the way you said biscuit, and he left a nice tip. So after my shift I called him and I said, also, I had no idea who I was calling. I didn't know if I was calling Paul or Josh, but it was like, either way, they're both cute. They're both cute, and I'm not interested in either of them, so it's fine. So I call, and he answers the phone, and I say, hey, thanks for that nice tip, just want to let you know, you guys were great. I would love to be your friend. Just need to set some ground rules. I'm not going to make out with you. We're not going to date.
She literally said that on the
Yeah, that's the first conversation. So as long as you're cool with those parameters, we can hang out. And he was like, oh, absolutely. No, I wasn't even thinking that. Totally good. So a couple days go by, and he calls me, and he's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? And I said, well, I'm going to a poetry slam down in Denver. I'm going to go read some poetry. Would you like to come with me? He says, sure. So he gets in the car with me, and we're driving down to Denver, and he's like, so what's your favorite band? I'm like, Fish. And he goes, I'm going to marry you. So we're down there, and
He said that out loud.
oh yeah, he said, I'm going to marry you. And I just chuckled it off, but So we're sitting there, we're doing the poetry, I read the poetry, having a couple drinks at the Merc, and I'm looking over, and I'm a sucker for forearms, and he had these really nice forearms. I don't know why.
I'm gonna put my shirt down.
And I just, as the night went on, he just kept getting cuter and cuter, and then, the night ended, he drives me home, or I drive him home.
Yeah.
Yep, I drove you home, and I made out with him, and we're making out. This segues into the first poem, so this is why the story's here. We're making out, and I'm like, this guy smells weird. Not bad, just strange for a man. So I break the kiss, and I'm like, I just need to know what it is you're wearing exactly, because you smell sweet. What is it? And he's like, oh, it's my body wash. And I was like, well, what's your body wash? It's like soft soap, milk and honey, the cheap stuff that you stock restaurant bathrooms with. So, okay, soft soap. So we continue making out, and as we're making out, I'm like, milk and honey. Huh. Israel. And all this random Jewish imagery starts popping into my head, and I'm like, he's like, why don't you come inside? And I'm like, I already demonstrated that I have zero moral integrity by making out with you. I'm not going to come inside with you. I am going to go home and write a poem. So, okay, that's what I did. I didn't go inside. Yes. So I went home and wrote this poem, which I performed on our slam team many years ago. And when I originally wrote it, it was before I had gone inside. So the first part of the poem is slightly G-rated, and then the rest I added later. So we're going to start off with something mildly explicit. It's called Holy Land.